Intermediate workouts are what you're looking for. You feel like you're decently comfortable on this machine, but you need a workout to follow along with. It's gonna give you decent aerobic fitness, give you some stroke rate guidance, and not just cover the basics. You're in the right place. This is going to be 4 by 3 minutes, totaling 20 minutes. The differences in the rest periods, I'll get into that in a second. It's a beautiful morning on the water, dark horses, and welcome to another workout. Today's intermediate workout is going to be 4 by 3 minutes with 2 minutes rest. That gives you 20 total minutes. That worked out really well. I was not thinking through that thing, but I was very happy with how that went. The workout is going to be simple. 18, 20, 22, 24 on stroke rate each round, so the stroke rate will increase each time, and we hold that stroke rate all the way through. The objective of today, stroke rate control, aerobic base, get you confident, moving through good positions at different stroke rates. Welcome to Dark Horse, where you get to write your own story and we get to be along for the ride. This video is brought to you by ASENSEI, our partners in training, where we like to host our programming to give you the most in-depth experience possible on this machine. I get to be in your pocket through the ASENSEI app. Only available on iPhones right now, coming soon to Android. I promise you, we're working on it. I've heard what a lot of you are saying. But links in the description below if you'd like to join the Dark Horse program on ASENSEI. Go click that link down there somewhere and come join us on ASENSEI. Otherwise, enjoy these workouts. Now, how do we set up for today's workout? Let's go over the basics. Number 1, foot stretcher set such that the straps run across the widest part of your foot. Next, make sure that you're sitting forward on your seat, that you are maintaining good posture throughout the workout today, and that when you grip your handle, hands are nice and wide, pinkies on the edge, and thumb wrapped around the machine. That being said, damper setting, go to where you like. But if you've never understood where damper setting should be, it's not the top, it's not the bottom. Find your middle range. As you improve, you can start to gravitate to where your damper setting should preferably be for you, because it's independent for everybody. Next, monitor setup. This one's gonna be relatively simple. From the main menu, go to, this is on a Concept 2 of course, select workout, that's the B button. New workout, that's the D button. Intervals, that's D. Intervals time, that's B. You should see 1 minute flashing on the screen. We're gonna hit the plus button once, that's B. Twice, B again. That gives us 3 minutes. Now we're gonna hit the right arrow, that's A. I think that was 4 times. You're gonna hit the plus button once and twice. 1, 2, that's the B button. That'll give us 2 minutes of rest. That's gonna be 5 minutes total. Next, we're going to call it a day on that. You're gonna hit the check mark and you're gonna have your monitor programmed. You're gonna get set. We're gonna be ready to go. Other house cleaning notes, have water nearby if you need it during your rest periods, have a rag to wipe off sweat if you so need. And then I encourage you to have 2 forms of viewership. Number 1, your phone, preferably tracking on top of your monitor so that you can have erg data, or ASENSEI, as well as a TV or laptop, something like that, so that you can be watching this video simultaneously as tracking the data that is on your machine. That being said, let's begin the workout. All right, let's get ready to do this. Feet strapped in, butt in seat, handle in hand. Let's Dark Horse. Sit ready. 3, 2, 1, 18. And away we go. A little hot and heavy though. There it is, found the 18. Well, that feels nice. It's a good day for an 18. Maybe a 19. Beautiful. So, fun little fact. When I was rowing, what many of you may know or may not know about rowing is that every seat has an assigned number or name to it, and often nicknames and personalities given to each seat in the boat. My seat is called the stroke seat. From the back, by the way, rowing is the only sport where you cross the finish line backwards that I know of. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I would sit at the very front of the athletes, which would be the back of the boat, and I face the coxswain. That means during a practice or race, I was the only person that got to actually say anything, but it also leads to a bit of a complex where I don't think I can do any wrong because everybody behind me has to match with my stroke. So essentially my stroke was the signature of our team and everybody had to follow me. Thus, I think I became a coach because I never heard that I was doing anything wrong. So, you know, maybe that lends a lot to why Dark Horse exists. Hope you're enjoying this 18 as much as I am right now. Whew. Feel that press through the feet. Push that machine away. It's all about that push, not that pull, right? Push, don't pull. We put it on a shirt for a reason. I've been sculling a lot lately, by the way, getting back into rowing. I don't know if you caught that video. If you haven't, make sure you go check it out. It's my experience getting back on the water, switching from the type of rowing that I used to do, which was sweep, into sculling. Coming into the home stretch. And easy. Good job. Oh, I said I'd keep spinning for a minute. So we'll keep spinning for a minute. So, something important that you can take away from this. Rowing is not just good exercise. I know it is great exercise. It's definitely good exercise. But there's a big mental component that comes in that we often forget about or happens subconsciously that I think a lot of us would benefit, or a lot of you guys, like you, not you guys, you. I think you would probably benefit from quite a bit, which is the mental hurdles that you end up having to overcome on this machine. If you're on this, it's a very solitary movement. It's a reason that rowers often do not like this machine. Because it's like being a runner and then having to run on a treadmill for practice, you know? It just loses its luster, like it's not as sexy. But for those of us that find this machine and get the benefit out of it, you end up having these big hurdles that you overcome because it's just you and the monitor. I'm gonna rest this final 40 seconds. It's just you. You can do so if you want. You can keep spinning too. Keep spinning, why not? But it's just you and the monitor. And it's your brain facing whatever's happening down here. You'll often find that emotions come out when you're on this machine in the middle of a workout when things are really sucking and it gets tough. You end up having the emotional outburst on this machine, whether it's angry, happy, sad, whatever it may be. Oop, getting ready to go. This one's gonna be at a 20. You end up finding that connection a lot on this machine. 2, 1, here we go, 20. So up 2 beats from last time. That's a little fast. Let me get settled in. There it is. Isn't it a beautiful day in the garage? It's just perfect weather to be sitting in your garage or your basement or your hallway or your spare bedroom, just doing the thing. So, continuing on this story of what I was doing, before I found rowing, I was nothing. Like the terrible student in high school, very sub-mediocre at sports. Nothing ever clicked for me. And I'd never really had somebody who believed in me. who thought that I could be better than what I was performing at in school and sports, whatnot. So I'd always felt lost. And it wasn't until I took some serious risks in my life, sold off everything that I owned, moved and lived in Mexico for 3 months while I waited to find out if I was gonna get into this school. And ended up I did. And it's where I found rowing. By pure happenstance. I had never rowed before college. And I was a transfer student at that. So I was already in my junior year. And I missed baseball tryouts because I was an idiot. And the guy across the hall from me had been recruited to row. He said, "Oh, you're tall and lanky, you should give it a try." Well, long story short, rowing and I fell deep, deep in love. And I found this thing that just scratched an itch for me. There was something about the teamwork, about the mental press, the deciding whether or not you were gonna go, how hard you were willing to push to find success. And I think that that lesson has permeated throughout my life. And I think it's something you guys probably feel deep down, but maybe couldn't quite put your finger on. And man, it's one of the best things that ever happened in my life because it gave me purpose. Yeah. Nice and easy on the rest. So it gave me purpose. It gave me a thing to connect to, which I hadn't had before. And I think it's why I so quickly fell in love with rowing. Was because I felt like I belonged somewhere for the first time. And that's really why I started Dark Horse in the first place, is I realized how many people enjoyed this, but didn't have a community, didn't have a place to go. Didn't have a group of dark horses to connect with, right? And I felt that in my life I was a dark horse. I was an underdog. Nobody was giving me the time of day. And it wasn't until I connected with it and decided that it was my thing for whatever reason. Again, I had not been a good athlete before. I really hadn't been. So for me to find this thing that clicked and gave me joy and passion and feeling like I had a purpose, I wanted to give that to you guys. I wanted to give that to you so that you could feel the same thing and find the same passion and energy in your own life. It's kind of why I believe Dark Horse is so much more than just rowing. This machine, while it's just a physical machine, really means a lot, like, to me, and I hope it does to you too. But I also hope that maybe we just help you bring a little bit of enjoyment to this. You guys get to connect in the comments below, chat with each other, find other people who believe the same thing, and just have a good dang time doing it together. All right, 10 seconds. Garage interval number 3. This one's gonna be at a 22. 2 beats up from the last one. 3, 2, 1, let's Dark Horse. 24, a little hot. Little low, 20. There's 22. Join me at a happy 22. Should be feeling a good rolling sweat right now. Be breathing pretty heavy at the end of every interval. We're just gonna take this one silently. So dig in. No stories for you. Just connect with the machine. All right. Easy spin. I chose no stories because I was breathing heavy on that one. So, show of hands, how many of you know what a dark horse is? Yeah, me neither. Just kidding. So, if you didn't know, a dark horse is somebody who isn't expected to win or succeed, but who unexpectedly comes from behind to take the victory, or at least come close. So I named this dark horse because that is me. So I had this famous, in college, our experience was such that when I started, I wasn't stepping into a good team. I was stepping into a pretty mediocre team who just didn't have much of a history of running. We have 1 more minute, by the way, of rest. Not much history at our school, not a whole lot of success, nothing that we knew about. And so we decided to blaze our own trail as novices. That's what it's called, your first year. And we stuck together, 12 of us, from our freshman year. In case you're doing the math, I came in as a junior, but it took me 6 to get through college, if that tells you anything. Again, not the brightest bulb, just passionate. So it took me 6. I got 4 years of rowing. We went from our freshman year, my junior year, to our senior year, made it to the national championships in the 8 and the 4, which is something that our school had never done before. And it was all because nobody was telling us we could do it. There was no expectation that we could do it. We just decided that that was gonna happen. We spent 4 years digging towards that goal. There's gonna be a 24 going in 3, 2, 1, 24. So it was this group that I bonded so heavily with, that these guys were my brothers. And man, that impact of spending 4 years working towards a singular goal that meant so much to us was a lesson worth passing on, and a big reason why Dark Horse exists and why it's named Dark Horse Rowing. All right, 24, settling in. Ooh, spin it out. That's good. Yeah. All right, I want you to keep spinning for your final 2. While I debrief. Not debrief, let's brief. So this workout, all about stroke rate control, giving you confidence in posture and position over time. Right? As to get better at this machine, you have to spend time with your body being in the right position for prolonged periods of time. Call it positional endurance, meaning your body's ability to maintain even when you start to fatigue, so that it ain't no thing. Right? No matter how tired you get, your body doesn't fall apart. You just lose the ability to push. You don't fall out of position. That's positional endurance. So that's a big one here. Big on aerobic capacity, right? 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off, but giving you, depending on how hard you come out of the gates, you can get some anaerobic stimulation. If you really want to crush in those first like 20 strokes, you can really try and raise that anaerobic threshold a little. Aerobic, big time, on just getting you breathing heavy for long periods of time. And then connecting your mind with the machine. That's why I was getting to tell these fun stories. It's because I want you to be thinking about what are the secondary benefits that you get to being here. It's not just that you work out, it's that you show up in your basement or your garage or your hallway and you get the work done. That's what matters. And that's why I have so much of this enjoyment behind this. So, I would encourage you, go check out, if this is your first one with us, you're new to this machine, check out our beginner series of workouts, because that beginner series will give you confidence more on the drill side with mechanics. If this is your first time and you're like, you know what, I feel comfortable on the machine, hang out with these intermediate workouts, get confident there. So I'd encourage you, jump onto this workout playlist. If you're a beginner, check out our beginner workout playlist. If this was comfortable for you, hit our intermediate playlist. Find your sweet spot and get comfortable with those. As make sure that you guys, if you like this, hit that subscribe button, the bell next to it, to make you a part of the Dark Horse community. And as always, write your own story, go do great things, and I'll see you on the other side.